Seeing the imagery on that last hymn reminds us of how difficult 2020 has been for all of us. We've had to learn new skills like how to live together but yet be apart, how to work from home, and also it's the fear that comes with it that is the problem. The fear that this coronavirus looks like we may never be able to beat it. And it's at times like that that we ask ourselves, why does God not come down and sort out the problem, just take coronavirus away? Does God not love us anymore? Is God perhaps punishing us? The good news is we have the answer to that, because the answer lies in the reading that we heard before that last carol. You see, God gave that word to Isaiah when the people of Israel were going through very much the same situation that we are going through today. They were faced with an Assyrian army that had attacked them. The Assyrians had attacked often before, but had never been able to succeed. But this time, they managed to overrun 50 of the villages just outside Jerusalem. And the defenses, which they thought could never be breached, didn't do much to stop them. And in their wake, they left people who had been brutally killed, and if they were taken alive, they were to be a slave for the rest of their lives. And the people in Jerusalem watched on, and they knew their time was coming, and they went to Isaiah and said, "Why does God not help us in this crisis?" And Isaiah gave them the word from God, which I can paraphrase as saying, God said He will send someone to this world who will sort out the problems of this world and make it a fit place for God's people to live. So they were in exactly the same position we were. And the interesting thing is, tonight you're going to hear the story of how God began to send someone. But He didn't just send someone, He sent His Son to come and fix this world. And in the story you're going to hear tonight, you're going to hear how God took Jesus as a God and transformed Him and put Him into a poor maiden's body, and He was born as a little baby in a stable. Nobody expected that, but then nobody ever expects what God does. But the thing for us to remember from this story is that from the very time that the Israelites were given Isaiah's message, their life went downhill quite dramatically. They were overrun, they were put into captivity, and they were never ever recovered from that. But the one thing they held on to was the promise that God would send someone who would free them from this oppression. And if you ever get a chance to go and see where they dug up the Dead Sea Scrolls, you will see and you will hear how in that site they found 11,000 of the scrolls of Isaiah, which will just tell you how important that message was for the people of Israel. So tonight, as we face this coronavirus, be rest assured that God loves you, God has a plan, and God is going to change this world So why don't we sit back and listen to the story of how God sent his Son to earth.